Hello everybody, it's the Saints man, the small van courier driver on the CX. It's Saturday 24th of July, nearly the end of July, wow. And it's Saturday afternoon, it's 2:15, just chilling out, waiting for the Lions to start against South Africa later on today. Go back to last Wednesday, I last left you Tuesday night. I parked in Caister in a pub, car park, right on the beach. Had a cracking night's sleep. I had a job from Norwich, which I'd booked, you already know I booked. It was from a private hospital in Norwich, going to Frimley Park Hospital, which was about 150 odd mile away. In Surrey, Hampshire, sort of borderish, I think. Picked that up from the theatre in the private hospital. 2 boxes. I've done these before quite a bit for this same company. It can be a bit of a pain, and it was at Frimley. Frimley, you just have to sort of go where the deliveries go, really, in a big hospital. Just hope you find somewhere or someone to tell you where to park. Frimley was a big hospital, but I managed to get around the back, got to a barrier, spoke to the man, told him what I was doing, who I was. He let me in, he'd give me a rough idea where to go. But you have to take it to the theatre reception. All the stuff I pick up, it's theatre reception. You can't just leave it in a post room. It has to go to where it has to go to. But no problem. Took about 15 minutes, which is a bit more than you want, really. But that's the way it is. Job was done. Come out of there. So I'm in Frimley now, which I thought bound to be a good area. It was. I had to get home. This is Wednesday now. I had to get home for our bike night at All Seasons. Obviously, biker. I want to get home. I've been out Monday night, I've been out Tuesday night. I didn't want to be out third night on the trot. So I looked for a small job or a job to the Midlands to where I am, and a small job popped up from Borden to Colnbrook, which is just by the M25 Heathrow. And I quoted high on that, got £1 a mile for that. I thought I'll quote £1. There was loads of jobs and there didn't seem many drivers around, so I quoted just on £1 a mile loaded. I did have to travel 10 mile to it, 15 miles, something like that, to get to it. It was in the middle of nowhere, in a forest, a little industrial estate, but all good. Picked it up, done that. And then I was looking for a job home, and there was nothing coming up. The only jobs that were coming up were to Aylesbury, which was the COVIDs. I'm sure everyone as a sex driver has been to HP19, Malford, Aylesbury. And there was one from Bracknell to Aylesbury, which I quoted 43 on. I weren't too far away from it, and that got me to Aylesbury, and then I just swallowed the 36 miles, which is what it is. It's 36 miles back to house, and I was at the bike night by 6 o'clock, so it wasn't too bad. I kicked off at 9 in the morning, I was done by 6. I got £189 that day, so it wasn't as good as the first 2 days, but I was home and at the bike night, which was rammed because the weather was lush. Really busy at the bike night, mega. It's been busy all the time when we get 400 bikes when it's busy, probably 500, I don't know. But yeah, good night. Had a good night, see a few people, chat to a few people I know. And I'd already got a job booked in the next day before I got to the bike night. This was going back again when I was waiting for my COVID, picking up at 4 o'clock in Bracknell. I was there about 3:30. I put my location on the laptops in Northampton, and a job popped up. A job was on there, didn't pop up, was on there for the next day. Rushden, which is only 10 mile from where I am, 9 miles, 10 mile, to Exeter, 2 drops, Exeter and Redruth. So, I had a little think, do I want to be in Redruth on Thursday afternoon? I've got to get back Friday, I don't work weekends, I don't want to stay out. I don't want to travel back empty. So I priced the job. I did put a quote in. Priced the job on the mileage to Redruth, which they'd already put. But I then put Redruth to Plymouth. And I did the mileage on that, based on that. Because I thought I would be in Redruth, there'd be nothing. And I would be travelling to Plymouth. And I've stopped at Plymouth on the marina before in the van. It's really nice parking there. And I thought I'll price it that, and if I get that, I'll take the risk on a Thursday and hope to get something back Friday, even if it's at a cheaper rate. Anyway, quoted, did job for 240. Quoted on 240 on the job, which was enough to get me to Plymouth, and got it. So it was a 8 a.m. pickup. So I thought if I crack on, I'll get to Redruth by about 2:30, even with a break. And as it worked out, it was 2 small boxes. For the same company what I was collecting from, it was 2 of their branches. The boxes were, I don't know, 2 foot by a foot, about that thick. Nice and easy. Did the one in Exeter straight away. It wasn't even in Exeter, it was about 5 miles outside Exeter. Funny enough, on an industrial estate that I delivered to about 3 weeks ago, but a different company. And then I pulled into Exeter Services. I thought I'll have a little coffee, and I got some sarnies, and I thought, yeah, I'll have a little stop here. I've got another 2-hour drive yet. And I thought, yeah, I'm well early. It was about 11:45. So I thought, what I'll do, I'll put the feed on for Redruth on my laptop. So I grabbed a coffee and sat in the van, had the aircon on, just baking hot outside. Thank God for air conditioning in my van. Anyway, put the feed on for Redruth, and I covered 30 miles to start with. I thought there'll be nothing. I should cover 50 really. I thought I'll cover 30 miles and see what happens. One job. And luckily for me, it was Penzance to Kingston upon Thames, pick up Friday morning. It's like, it fell in my lap. It was in, Penzance is 12 miles away from Redruth. Nothing ever comes out of there. Nothing. I've worked for these couriers a fair few times as well, so I thought I'm just going to go in. I thought I just want the job. I want the job. I'll go in low. I went in 68p loaded. That was from picking up to dropping off. Didn't worry about the 12 miles from Redruth to Penzance, and it was going to Kingston upon Thames. And it was COVID as well. It was only one COVID sample. Still staggered me why they go all this way, but hey, it pays the money. So I quoted on it. Yeah, it was about 68p all in, and I thought, I bet if I hung on I could get this for a lot more, but I would definitely want it. So I would normally have quoted probably 75, 80p, but for that extra 20 quid, 30 quid, I'm prepared to, because I've got my money going down to Cornwall. I've already got the money in the bank. So I quoted 199, just under 200 quid. And that was a little bit, I put about 5 quid extra, but I did it in the end for 194. He asked, would I be prepared to do it for 190? I said, no, I'll meet you in the middle at I'll do 194. And he went, yeah, fair enough. I said, I don't think you're going to get another driver to do it anyway. I said, I'm doing it pretty cheap for you anyway. And he agreed there and then. So this is Thursday lunchtime. I've got my Friday backload to back into, and Kingston upon Thames is a good way to get another job back to where I live. So happy days. The drive from Exeter to Redruth became a lot happier because the job came through. I accepted it. It's all good. It's COVID. It's not going to be messed up. It's not as if it's going to be cancelled, I wouldn't have thought. And I'm staying down southwest and I'm going to be finished. And I finished in Redruth about 2:40. And a nice gentle, didn't even push it. 65 mile an hour, all the way down the A30. Let everything go by, whizzing by. It weren't too busy actually. Got to Redruth, delivered. I thought, right, I'm going to drive straight to Penzance. I'm not even going to stop in Redruth. I'll drive straight to Penzance and I'm going to drive straight to this address so I know where it is, because it's residential. And it was a place called Mousehole. Not Mouse Hole, as it's read, it's Mousehole. I'll tell you about that in a bit. And I drove to it and I found it was a cottage. I'm glad I went and found it then, because it put my mind at ease, because it was a named cottage in a village, but I found it. So I thought, great, that's me sorted for 8 o'clock morning. So, drove back to Penzance, a couple of miles back into Newlyn to start with, pulled over, had a little get out, stripped down to my shorts, not a pretty sight, but in the back of the van no one could see. Stripped down to my shorts, changed my top, flip-flops are on, we're going walking. Walked round Newlyn, very nice fishing harbour, real nice fishing harbour, working fishing harbour as well, they're still working. And then I looked at Park for Night, and there was 2. There was one on the cliffs, the Cliff Road at Newlyn, looking out of the Michael's Mount. That was very nice as well. No facilities though, nothing, and you weren't near, you were actually on the Cliff Road. There weren't no pub, there weren't nothing nearby. It would have been a quiet night, I think, but there was a better one. Penzance car park, the Marina. It's a long stay car park. it's free after, it was 5 o'clock. I thought it was 6 o'clock, but it was free after 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock in the morning, and it got great reviews. Near chip shop, near pub, lovely, but quiet. There's a helicopter going by, you could probably hear it, it's at my patio door. Anyway, all sorted. So I went and fueled up. I got my fuel card, and there was a place there to fuel up. Got some grub, had a sandwich, and I parked up anyway. Not in just an ordinary parking spot in the street. Had a little walk. Waited till 6 o'clock. I went in the car park 6:05. It was a barrier. You took a ticket. A barrier lifted up, and you put the ticket on exit, and it tells you how much. That's what I was told. And parked for night. And I parked up 6:05. I was parked up flat, right by the seawall. Problem was the chippy weren't open, but I'd had a sandwich. I weren't hungry anyway, so I thought, right, I need some exercise. So, don't know beaches. The kids were jumping. Kids were jumping 20 feet off the harbour wall, wetsuit straight in, bang. The tide was in, and apparently they do it all the while. There was about 15 of them. They were doing blooming forward roll, 20 feet, bang, hit the water. There was a couple of adults there watching them, keeping an eye on them, just in case anything went wrong. So it was well marshalled. And then the sailing club out. I thought, right, I'll go and have a look, see what's in the town. So I walked through the town. Obviously, everywhere's pretty much shut the shops, but found a nice local pub. This is about 6:45, 7 o'clock, probably 7ish. And sat there and I thought, I'll have a beer. So I had a pint of Doom Bar. I mean, luck's really in. £2 for a pint. £2. When she said £2, I went, is it happy hour? Am I come just right? And apparently it was the last day of the barrel. They've got a new barrel on the next day. She says, it's all fine, there's nothing wrong with it. She said, we'd just rather sell it off for £2 and chuck it at the end of the night. And I looked around, all the locals were drinking it, because should be £3.90. But when you're a courier driver, you can't go on the lash really, although I was very tempted. So I had a couple of pints, and I thought I need some grub. A lot of restaurants down there, but they're a bit poncy and they're a bit too much pricey. But the local kebab place was right over the road. I ain't had a kebab for years, and I thought I'll treat myself. I had a kebab, loads of salad, bit of bread, salad, and that was £6, £6.40 or something. Only small. Had a mixed one, lamb and chicken. Took it down to the harbour, went and sat on a bloody great, what they put the ropes of the big boats around. It was like an upside, like a hat, top hat upside down. I sat on there, watching all the little sailing boats coming in. The sailing club had been out all night, zigzagging. Great night. I ate my kebab. Luckily found a toilet in the railway station. Went to the toilet, sorted out, got back to the van about 10 o'clock. Sorted out, thought that's me done for the night, I'm at it. Kipped, sound. Not ugliest sound. I kept quite a lot in the van, not a sound. Beautiful, slept lovely. I set the alarm for 6:30 just in case, and I woke up about 6:20. Got up, had myself a strip wash, used what I got in the van, cleaned my teeth, had a shave, had an electric shave, got ready, thought I'm going to go pick this COVID up at 8 o'clock. I thought, right, I'll go to Tesco's, use their toilet, because the railway station wasn't open. Went to Tesco's, used the toilet, grabbed a sandwich for later when I was driving back, so I didn't have to stop, and got to the pickup 10 to 8, and I thought, well, I won't knock on the door, it's 10 minutes before I should do. Didn't have to worry about it. He come straight out. He says, are you a courier to pick up? I went, I am. Got to Kingston upon Thames. Yep, there it is. Job's a great one. I'm out of there. 5 to 8, I'm on the road. Get out of Penzance just before the main traffic comes in. You get on the A30 up past Red Reef. Once you're on the A30 dual carriageway, the next thing the old sat nav says is 94 miles to get off the A30 onto the M5 at Exeter. We're gone. 68 mile an hour on the cruise control. Radio's on. Life is good. It's Friday. I've got a load back. I thought even if I get to Kingston and it's 3 o'clock, 3:30, even if I don't get another job, I'm going to be home by 5:30, and I've had a cracking couple of days. So, drove. It was great. I got out of Cornwall, no problem. Got through Devon, no problem. I even got past Bristol. Well, I didn't go up. I went on the A303. This is where the sat nav was telling me to go that way, because the M4 was chocker with traffic and there was a problem. There was a problem the M4, M5 around Bristol, so it took me, which is the quickest way, the 303, less mileage. But you got Stonehenge, Jesus. They just go about 5 mile an hour and looking at it. It just baffles me. I've been on there about half a dozen times in the last few weeks, and everything it's in a big dip, and as you're coming back, and it just grinds to halt. Traffic, we had about 5 mile traffic jam getting to it, doing 10 mile an hour, and once you cleared it, it goes again. But hey, we got to Kingston upon Thames, did stop at Fleet Services, grabbed a coffee, had a look at the feed to see what was out of Kingston, and there was lots of jobs. So I thought, well, I ain't even going to bother quoting anything. I'll wait, let me get there, get it sorted. Went past Hampton Court, over the bridge, into Kingston, and it was although it was going to a laboratory, it was a residential address, and they turned it in one of the flats into a little laboratory, got the name on it and all that. So dropped that off instantly, no problem, and it was about 2:10, 2:15. I thought, let's have a look for jobs, and there was jobs to Aylesbury again, because Aylesbury, there's loads of COVID's going to Aylesbury, and the nearest one to me was Uxbridge, which was 10 miles, but it was like across London and sort of southwest of London, and I quoted on it, and I got a phone call. It was 42 miles. I quoted 41 quid because I thought I've got 10 miles of aggro getting there, and it was 350 pickup. I thought, if I don't get it, I ain't first. Did get a phone call saying, would you do it for 35? I said, to be honest, no. There's 300 odd jobs on a Friday. I thought, no, I'm not going to undercut it like that bad. I said, no, at the moment, I'm happy to keep that price. If I'd have been another day, and I probably would, but no, I thought, no, I'm going to stick out for me 41 quid. And if I don't get it, I don't get it, there's something else can happen. And I was thinking, what else have we got? I looked on there, and there was a Guildford. It was about 14 miles, 12 miles, something like that. And that was 60 miles to Aylesbury. So I quoted 50, let me get this right, 53 quid for 60 miles. Because obviously it's 60 miles to Aylesbury from Guildford, but I'm 12 miles away, that makes it 72. I've got 36 miles home, which obviously the shipper doesn't, he don't know where I live, or she don't. They don't. They're quoting on that 60 miles. So that was 36, 60, it was about 98. So I was actually doing it for about 52 per mile, but it was getting me home. It was getting me home, and I weren't getting home. I weren't going home empty 110 miles. So, and I got it. I got the Guildford one. And this is where my Friday got a bit spoilt, because I'd got 12 miles. Now on one of my sat navs, it doesn't take into account any congestion. It just gives you the miles and how long it thinks you'll get there. The other sat nav, my Google, it puts all the conundrums into it, all the traffic problems, and the A3 was knackered. And I'd only got 12 miles, and it looked at, and I got 350 pickup. I thought, I'll get there, I'll stop on the way, I'll just take my time. Luckily I put it straight in my sat nav, because instead of one of them, 12 miles, said 22 minutes. The other one said 58 minutes. I'm like, what? And when the line on the map comes up, if it's good, it's blue. If it's getting a bit heavy traffic, it's amber. If it's a bloody nightmare and it's ground halt, it's red. So I had a quick flick, moved the map up, moved me cursor along, and it was red. A3 was red. I thought, oh great. Thought I'd better set off. So I set off. I didn't stop, and I got there it took me an hour, about an hour. I got there about 20 to 4, which is great. It's still there. I'm there before the time, and parked up. And normally they're ready to go. 4 o'clock, we wait till 4, because in case someone comes in, COVID. I know it's been busier. I went to just to tell her that I was there, that I was parked up, not a problem, I'm here till 4 o'clock, there's no rush, do it. And she said, oh, I've got a bit of a problem, I think. She says, don't think one of them's isn't right, one of the chest tubes is faulty. I'm like, okay. I said, well, I'm in the van. I was in the shade. I said, I've got a bit of paperwork to do. I said, you pop it over. I should have left there at 4. I phoned the shipper at 4:10 because she weren't ready. And the shipper says, well, it's pretty flexible. I said, I'm never going to get to Aylesbury for R5 because I'd looked at that and the M25 was knackered. Everywhere. It didn't matter which way I wanted to go to Aylesbury. It was 2 hours. Over 2 hours for 60 miles. Jesus. So eventually I got away at 4:30 and I thought, well, I can't moan because I got my money for out of Penzance, but I would have liked to be home a bit earlier. I was getting a Chinese on the way home in Northampton for my good lady. We was going to have a Chinese takeaway. Anyway, picked it up at 4:30 and sure enough, I pulled in 2 hours 10 minutes later. 20 to 7. 20 to 7. It was an hour, but I'd let the shipper know. They said, no, it's very flexible that time. Don't worry about it. It's just, it's traffic, and I have to live with it, don't I? So, at 20 to 7. And just to cap it off, on the way back, I found our Chinese up, who I've used a fair few times, and I'm going to be home at 25 to 8. And I phone her and I says, can I put an order in? My wife's gluten free. They look after a gluten free, so gluten free meal for her and a meal for me. And I says, can you do it? And he says, yeah. He says, I do have to tell you that it's 8:45 is the earliest. We're absolutely right. Everyone's on holiday. It's near where I live. It's only 8:45 pickup. I went, so I'm going to go home, sit there for an hour, and then go back out. Well, that ain't happening. So I phoned my good lady up and I said, look, I'm going to be 8:45 getting home. I says, but I can't get the Chinese till 8:45. I'm not eating it at 9 o'clock, 9:30. I says, I'll get you some chips. There's a place near us that's gluten free. I says, we'll have some chips. So we did. And I got home, even after getting the chips, I got home about 5 to 8. So it was a 12-hour day, but that paid me 247 all in that day. Yeah, 194 Penzance to Kingston upon Thames, and then I did 53 Guildford to Aylesbury. So I did 247. So overall, it's been another great week. I'm not going to lie. I have done 3 nights tramping, which is more than I normally do. I perhaps do 1 normally, but I've done 3. But the weather's been great, so it's not bothering me. Monday I did 391 miles, got 254 quid. That was when I went to Bristol, Exeter, then Exeter to Brighton. Tuesday I did 260 miles. That was my best pence per mile. I got 74p every single mile. And that was after I paid me congestion. I still got 74p. And I did 191 money. Wednesday I did 349 miles and got 189 quid. So 200 is my average. So with my Monday I'm still above my 200. And then Thursday and Friday I had 350 miles Thursday, £240. That was down to Penzance. Down to Exeter, Redruth, Penzance. And then Friday I got 247 and 418 miles. So I did quite a bit more miles. Overall I did 1,768 miles in 5 days. And I got 1,121, which worked out at 63 pence every single mile from home to start to finish. So another good week, not gonna lie, very happy. Did a lot of it's a job today, jeez. Anyway, I did take a chance going down to Cornwall on a Thursday, and I did check the feed while I was in Cornwall on Friday coming out. And the first job, I'll tell you, here's a good one. Thursday night, I checked who was nearby. I was in Penzance, and I have to say, I'm going to say I was the furthest driver west, courier driver. There was one other courier driver, and he was in Truro, which is where I'm 10 miles from I'm 8 miles from Land's End when I was in Mosul, and there was nothing. There weren't a courier driver for 60, 70 miles. So I was the furthest west courier driver on Thursday. But I say, Friday when I was driving back, I was checking the feed just to see if I would have got a load. And Plymouth comes in. When you go to the A30, Plymouth sort of pings in jobs. And there was one job, Plymouth to Newton Abbot, 5 mile. That was on there. That would have been any good. And it weren't until I got to Exeter that a couple of jobs come up. There was an Exeter to Bristol, which would have got me to Bristol, then I got a job home. But I'd have done 100 dead miles. So I was fortunate. Luck favours the brave, or the stupid, as in this case, maybe. But hey, all good. Another week, Saturday afternoon now. So just been seeing my auntie, who's not too clever. Done the shopping. Wife's at work until she's hoping to get home for the rugby, start the rugby. And I've got today off. I've chilled out, just sorted the van out, give it a quick clean as well. And we're all good, ready to start Monday. And we've got a job booked in as well. I did that while I was... Where was I? I was in traffic on the M25 when I stood still. Put the feed on, and there was a job from Northampton down to Burgess Hill Monday, which I've got good money for it, and it starts 8 o'clock, so I don't mind. That's a nice start, 8 o'clock. I like to get going. 7 o'clock will be better, but 8 o'clock's fine. I'll be there at 10 to 8, 5 to 8, and hopefully we'll be down to near Gatwick, Crawley, somewhere else. I think Burgess Hill was that way, around 25 down a bit, and then we'll see where we get from there. So, if you like what you see, push like, and if you want to subscribe, I think it's 15 of you now subscribe, which appreciate that. All I do is what I do. I don't edit any videos. This is how it is, as you can see, very amateurish. Just me talking crap, I suppose. Had a haircut as well today. Cut my own hair, obviously, because I ain't got much to cut anyway. Use the shears. Yeah, all good. All good. Trying to lose a bit of weight because we're going away. I've got 2 weeks now, and then we're away for a week. But I've got a good holiday in September on the motorbike with a good lady, hopefully, to Pico Mountains in Spain. So we're going on the boat for a week in August, and then a week in September in Spain. That's why I'm trying to bang a bit of money in now. But there is a lot on there. I don't know how you guys getting on the CX, but there's a lot of jobs going at the moment on there. So perhaps it's on our favour and not the shipper's favour, because the money's going up slightly as well, especially after March, April, May. It's all going up. So I hope you're all making money. Have a good rest of the weekend, and I'll speak to you the rest of the week about next week.